What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Wednesday night stream. How's everybody doing? You guys ready to have some fun? Ready to talk about some nerdy shit? I'm ready. I'm very ready. So let us prepare. Let the cup be filled. Let the smoke be lit. Because it's time to get nerdy. What's up, everybody? How are we doing tonight? You guys ready for some stuff? Ready to talk all kinds of nerdy crap? Ready for me to talk about almost the same shit everyone else has talked about, but from my own point of view? What's up, chat? Spicy Dan, Lou, C-Dub, Brooke. How are we all doing tonight? I see we came in hot with leak jokes. That's pretty cool. Actually, I'm kind of proud of you guys for that. In a completely non-condescending manner, of course. Yeah, so how we doing? How are things, chat? How has your week been through this hump day? How are we doing? I am doing okie dokie. Work's going alright. My wife is awesome. My cats are crazy, but I love them. Doing okie dokie. Doing okie dokie. How about you guys? Got off work an hour ago? Brooke? Nice. Enjoyed the Daredevil episode yesterday? Yeah, I mean, I enjoyed it too. Pretty divisive episode overall, though. You know, you gotta say it. The opinions are varied on that episode. There's people out there that like sing his praises. There's people out there that are at my level that thought it was pretty good. There's people, you know, there's people in the meh, and then there's people like not good, but there's some cool parts, and then there's people that just hated it. So I'd say that pretty much qualifies as a divisive episode. I'd have to say. But I know I've been saying this. Trying to stay afloat over there right now. Well, may your seams be tight. And your leaks be nil. And may the wind be strong to blow you to shore. But, what was I saying? Oh, yeah. Like I've been saying, there is going to come a point where we are going to be completely on the stuff that they made exclusively for this, what's turning out to be rather than redone, but somewhat revamped season. More revamped than redone. But episodes 8 and 9 are brand new, brand spanking new. So, I mean, obviously they had to be done in a way to where they, still actually tie into what happened before, but damn, Dub, 3 tornadoes today within 25 miles, and now you got a flood watch from now until the nebulous term known as late Saturday. That's crazy. I mean, we got a fair chunk of rain and thunderstorms today here, but I don't think we got any tornadoes. You didn't hear about any tornadoes today, did you? No. Not here, anyway, right? Yeah. Oh, it must be the one C-Dub is experiencing, yeah, or, yeah, or a little while ago. Okay, yeah, that's right, because you live in the Lou. So you get the shit before I get the shit. So evidently your shit is on its way to me. And if it goes the right way, it's going to get a nice little reload over Lake Michigan. That'll suck. So we had some thunderstorms earlier, and a flood watch came out for like the areas that are already very prone to flooding. Um, yeah, no tornadoes yet, but evidently your storm's going to become my storm sometime tonight, sir. Hey, Shelly, how are you? I'm doing all right. How about yourself? Homeowner associate. Ugh. Even if I could ball like that, I would never own a house which was part of an association. Literally everyone I've ever spoken with that has lived in a place with a homeowners association calls it a big, massive fucking pain in the ass. Because somehow the leaders of homeowner associations, not always, I'm not making a complete blanket statement, but there is a tendency, I shall say, for the presidents of homeowners associations to be twats. Living the good life, Shelley? Awesome. I'm glad to hear it. Yeah, so I am unfortunately not surprised to hear that you're having issues with the homeowner association because, while I've never been in one, I know people who have, and they're not that big of fans. That sucks, though, man. Spicy Dan says, remember, the porch is the safest and best place during the tornado. It's certified Okie here. Oklahoma, well, I mean, yeah, Oklahoma knows a bit about tornadoes. Brooke says, yeah, there's stuff around the neighborhood that needs fixing. The previous owner left. There's a new person who's head of the association. Honestly, I just got this house because it was the cheapest one I could get. I mean, bro, I don't blame you. I don't blame you. Usually it's fine, but I think they're having everyone pay a huge fee to fix up the roofs and all. Well, why don't people just do that shit on their own instead of paying what is probably even a more expensive fee to have the association handle it? What do I know, though? What do I know? But to me, at least, that doesn't seem to make much sense. The way most associations are, they can definitely mandate that, hey, bro, your roof looks like shit. You need to do something about it. Lots of financial issues, inflation, and all that bullshit. I got you. I got you. Spicy Dan. I went tin roof years ago. Rusted? Name the song. Anyway, 90s reference. Late 80s reference, technically. Anyway, I went tin roof years ago, Spicy Dan says. The hail this morning sounded Q. Nice. C-dub. I mean... I'm what? Oh, I'm fine up in Michigan? Not according to my weather reports, I'm not. But yes, I am fine. I wish. Yeah. Exactly. Exactly, Spicy Dan. Giggity, giggity, goo! Alright, y'all. Are we ready to get into the goods? CinemaCon is this week. And Monday was the Sony panel. And as we all know, Sony owns the rights to Spider-Man. So, of course, we were expecting some kind of news about Spider-Man. And we got some. First, we found out this. Monday night at the Sony panel at CinemaCon, they got to see a little bit of Beyond the Spider-Verse. They said they took their time to get this right. Lots of snippets of the previous films. That's not a surprise. We saw footage of Prowler Miles and the Spot fully unleashed. Ooh. And we have an official release date of June 4th in the year that is not a surprise, 2027. I've been predicting 2027 for a while now. And of course many others too were too. I can't be like, I was ahead of the game. I wasn't. Yeah, it is a long wait, Daniel. It really is. But I agreed. I was a member of the group that predicted sometime in 2027. So, yay me. And we got some images. We got this image. This is from Beyond. They brought some stills. That's all they brought. Footage-wise was these stills. We got some Miles. Looks like mid some kind of motion. I feel like he's in motion. Oh. Maybe. Oh, looks like he might be clinging to the side of a bus as the bus is hauling down the street. What do you guys think? This right here, a bus? Because he's like, got his hand up here. Looks like if we could see the full shot, there'd be a foot here on the bus and then another one like right here on the bus. Yeah, it looks like he's hanging on a bus as the bus moves in this shot. That's what I think. Then we have Miles and Gwen. He is looking highly displeased with Gwen right now. This is some pretty simple artwork compared to this one. Flat, the colors are super muted. Got some kind of Capitol building here. Are these supposed to be sails? Okay, so these are sailboats. Some kind of building with a rotunda. This almost kind of looks like Big Ben. House over here. This looks like an oil rig. Which makes sense if there's boats around it, because oil rigs are generally, well, this looks like a water, yeah, an oil rig in the water. And some more faded background kind of shit going on back here. I'm assuming this is supposed to be a setting sun. But yeah, it looks like there's some hurt feelings going on. Looks like Gwen's trying to explain something, and Miles is like, what the fuck ever, bitch. Nah, he just looks sad as fuck. He don't look angry, he looks sad. And then we got Miles. And someone please carry this on to Josh. Versus. It's 2 syllables, it's not verse. Miles versus Prowler. I think this is a very sick scene right here. Looks like he's, again, chilling on the side of a building or something right here. You can tell by his pose. Hands and feet firmly attached to something, which we can't really tell. Be interesting to see what this looks like in motion, but Prowler looks fucking sick, bro. Look at these claws, man. I like the collar. I mean, let's be real. There's going to be some assholes out there who are tripping balls because this is pink. Anyone who's scared of a dude wearing pink is actually the bitch, not the person wearing the pink. I'll just put that out there. But yeah, I think Prowler's suit looks fucking sick, y'all. To me, y'all. What do you think? I think it looks pretty fucking dope. And then this last image here of more Prowler. Looks like Prowler in mid-leap trying to fuck somebody up. More than likely Miles. He's like, rah! So this is probably from a fight between Prowler and Miles, I would guess. Fork to my nose. Like I said, obviously he's in mid-leap. They got some kind of fancy schmancy shit going on in the background like the animators of these movies tend to do. And I ain't mad at them. Not at all. So, yeah, these images are pretty dope overall. I don't quite get, I mean, I kind of get what they're trying to get at with this, but it's just like vibrant. 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 This. You know, one of these is not like the others. On the other hand, the complete sheer oppositeness of it does make it stand out in its own way. You know what I mean? Does it overall kind of look flat and extremely muted? Yes. But, you know, and they talking about, like, clothes and colors and shit that, you know, if you got a bunch of, like, the accent piece is generally the opposite in tone of what you're wearing. So an accent piece, say, like, if you're wearing a black outfit, an accent piece would be, like, for dudes, like a white tie or a white belt. Um, so in this case, it's a shit ton of vibrant with the muted flat thing as a standout. Yeah, we do have those Clippers. Not the LA, but the Winds, courtesy of our close proximity to Canada. That is true, C-Dub. That is true. Yes. What do you guys think of these stills? I think they're pretty fucking cool. I think we're gonna have at least a good looking movie. Hopefully, the quality of the story remains. But we will find out in, let's see, when is that? June this comes out? Yes, June 4th. We will find out in 28 months, folks, in 2 days. 28 months in 2 days. We will see what these stills look like in action. Isn't that exciting? 28 months in 2 days. Woo! Or 2 years, 4 months and 2 days. However you want to look at it. Long fucking time. But if they continue on the trajectory they've been continuing on with the first 2 Spider-Verse movies, we'll be fucking annoyed at the wait right up until the movie starts. And then when we come out of the theater, we'll be like, I do believe, my prediction is that we'll walk out of the theater and go, all right, that was worth the wait. That is my hope, and again, if you want to extrapolate out the track that the first 2 movies went on, which, okay, whoops, I gotta go the other way, which is an upward track. If things remain the same, it's going to continue on an upward track and be fucking dope. So what you guys think? We know when it's coming. We have a small idea about the look. What say you, chat? How do you feel about Beyond the Spider-Verse? What up, Ned? How you doing? It's your eyeball. It's your eyeball. Ah. Sheesh. What say you, chat? Do you like the images? Do you not like the images? Is there at least the teensiest bit of relief or at least mollification now that we actually have a set date? No more guessing. June 4th, 2027. That's pretty much Sony's stance. Yeah! You know when you're getting it now. Yeah! Be happy. Yeah! Why don't y'all pick up the pace and make it fucking late 2026, eh? How about that? How about that? No. Don't rush it. Make sure it's fucking good. I don't know. I mean, am I thrilled that it's a 28-month and 2-day wait? Nope. But, like I said, the trajectory of the first 2 movies gives me hope. I really like those stills. So setting aside the insanely long wait time, I'm excited. I'm very much looking forward to that. And the theater experience it will provide. What about you guys? Talk to me, Chad. Tell me what you think. Tell me what you think, chat. I want to know. What the hell? Delta Dan, what's going on? How you doing, man? How you doing, man? Ugh. You're just talking about Beyond the Spider-Verse. We know when it's finally coming out. And I thought the stills looked dope. Did you see the stills? There we go. You did not? Okay, well, check these shits out then. These are the 4 stills they released from Beyond the Spider-Verse. These are images that they are alleging we'll see. I mean, we all know that. We all have seen trailers that had shit in them that were like sick, and then we watched for it the whole movie and never fucking saw it. We've all had that experience. So we'll see. But as of right now, these are still images from Beyond the Spider-Verse. We have here this first one of Miles. Looks like he's hanging onto a bus as the bus is moving. Got all this nice neon shit in the background. Stegron. That says Stegron. Man, that's hard to make out with the oof. Damn it, did that happen again? Nope, I'm muted. Over here. I should be good. I don't have a reverb on or anything. Yeah, they're the first one to bring it up. Anyway, so this is the first image. Pretty cool. Oh. Not the one I was looking for. Where's the one with the flat one? God damn it, this isn't even the post I want. Ah, here we go. Nope, that's not it either. Where's the collection of pictures I had before, you motherfuckers? God damn it. No, that's still not it. Ermagerd. Okay, well, you've seen the one on the bus. And then there's also this nice close-up of Miles hanging out. Literally, it looks like. Then there's this one. Well, actually, you know what? Let's go to these first. We got Miles hanging out on the side of a building or something, probably, it looks like. Or a wall of some sort. He's on a wall. And then we have the Prowler here. I think the Prowler looks sick. I love this image. Miles looks good. Prowler looks good. Not really sure what they got going on in the background here, but this is a pretty fucking dope image in my opinion. And then we got this solo shot of the Prowler in mid leaping attack, it would appear. Judging by the positioning of his feet and his arms and shit, looks like he's coming in. Trying to fuck somebody up. Probably Miles. So that's a pretty dope shot. And then there's this one, which is quite opposite of those last two. And these are all bright and vibrant and colors popping. The lighting is pretty bright. I mean, obviously this is a dark background in here, but they got all this shit going on to brighten it up. Plus, again, the vibrancy of the Prowler suit. And then we have this shot, which is the polar opposite of the previous two. Everything's muted. I mean, I got fog here basically, but you know, there's no brightness to this picture at all. There's no vibrancy to this picture at all. It's pretty much the complete opposite of those first two. And They appear to be on an oil rig or some similar contrivance in the water. Pretty sure these are sailboats. A clock tower, some building with a rotunda. I don't know what the fuck this is over here. But from all appearances, I'd say Miles looks pretty fucking sad right here. And it looks like Gwen's trying to explain herself right here. Look at her pose. Like, looks like she's about to start walking towards him. Got her hand out to her side, like trying to explain, like, but, that kind of pose. Like, look at her. And now look at Miles. I didn't know the spider suit had pockets, but it kind of looks like, even if it's just, very shadowed there, if the spider suit had pockets, he'd have his hand in it. Like, look at him, head down, facing away from Gwen. Something happened. There's something serious going on in this image. So, yeah, those are the images. I think it looks pretty fucking cool. And we know it's coming out June 4th, 2027. Miles needs a cheeseburger. Miles needs a cheeseburger for every meal for a year. That skinny little motherfucker. I mean, he could literally rip my limbs off my body because that's how strong Spider Peoples is, but yeah, he's skinny. He is skinny. Oh, here we go. Boop. And so, that's animated Spider-Man. How about some live-action Spider-Man? Also, during the Sony panel at CinemaCon, we got the official title and logo for Spider-Man 4. And it is an official release date. Spider-Man, Brand New Day. And this is the new logo. Obviously, the lettering style is pretty different from the previous. I don't know if there's any examples in this. Yeah, here we go. I don't know what's with the weird titles, but okay. Ignoring the ridiculous filled-in titles, this is the font from the previous three. And this is what we have now. So they're definitely changing it up. I ain't mad at it. I ain't mad at it at all. So, the new logo, the new title, the release date. Now, I am not super well versed in the actual, minutia of a lot of these stories. So, I know it's a sequel to One More Day, and I know people hated One More Day, so they made Brand New Day to retcon One More Day. That's kind of mostly the extent of my expertise. But, however, there is the internet. So I went ahead and decided to look up what's going on in One More Day, and I would like to share with you what I found out. This comes from the Wikipedias. We're going to look at the plot of it and see what we think they may or may not adapt. The new status quo. Following the events of One More Day, which people fucking hated, Spider-Man's marriage to Mary Jane Watson has been erased, resulting in adjustments to his own history. Spider-Man's secret identity has also been forgotten by everyone, including people who knew his identity before his public unmasking. This takes place post-Civil War, by the way, the comic Civil War, where he did reveal who the fuck he be. That is kind of funny. C-Dub. RDJ's now a vegan. Does he feel weird rewatching Iron Man where he wants a cheeseburger? That's great. Okay. Harry Osborn is again alive. Evidently, he fucking died. He has been living in here for several years. Aunt May is alive and well and volunteers in a homeless shelter. Peter has his original mechanical web shooters, although some people vaguely recall that Spider-Man unmasked himself during the events of Civil War. Okay. They do not remember whose face was under the mask, and even if this is brought to their attention, they soon cease to worry about it. So, what does just this paragraph, what do we have in common of what we have now? Well, thanks to No Way Home, no one knows who the fuck Peter Parker is. Or at least no one knows that Spider-Man's Peter Parker anymore, but No Way Home took the extra step of having no one know who the fuck Peter Parker is, period. I mean, forget the fact that he's Spider-Man, they just don't know that motherfucker exists. Now, I had no idea Harry Osborn was dead, but whatever. Aunt May is alive and well. Now, I don't know if y'all recall, because there's been so motherfucking much rumor, speculation, and alleged leaks for this fucking movie. You may not remember that one of the, I don't know if this is a leak, a rumor, or speculation, but it's previously been talked about that it's possible that for whatever reason, Doom or what have you, we're going to see Aunt May alive again in this movie. You know, Prez, what's happening, my guy? So, that's been talked about. Interesting to see that the new status quo involves Aunt May being alive, which obviously she fucking died at some point in the comic, evidently. Peter has his original mechanical. I don't know what's up with that. But the biggest two things, again, coming from this is no one knows who the fuck he be, and Aunt May is back. Which is the opposite of how we left him at the end of No Way Home. Well, no. No one knowing who he is was the same. But Aunt May being alive is the opposite. The mount broke, and I had to finagle this mic back. If I want to use this mic again, I would literally have to, like, hold it. And I'm lazy. And I don't want to. And I also haven't figured out a way to bootleg it either. So, this was my first solution. Well, I don't know what to do, guys. I don't know what to do. Yeah, because that's turned all the way down. Excuse me. Da 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 da. Okay, I guess I have to have that one up. I guess I have to have that one up. All right. But what the hell's happening here? Okay, that's better. What the fuck? Okay. Anywho, why was I even over here? Oh yeah, so I could type in the brand name of the microphone. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, monthly would be much better, Brooke. I agree with you. See what I mean, Brooke? Delta Dan hates his HOA. Ned hates his HOA. I'm telling you, HOAs suck, bro. Never. Oh yeah, that's right. Like, what the hell's doing? So yeah, we've already got some shit lining up between the actual comic story and the end of No Way Home, and already a rumor or two about what we were going to see in this movie anyway. How fun. Let us continue. All right. Spider-Man has not been seen for 100 days due to the implementation of the Superhuman Registration Act. In the MCU, that's known as the Sokovia Accords. In the meantime, Peter Parker has been residing at Aunt May's house as he searches for an affordable apartment. Now, he did have an apartment at the end of No Way Home. Feeling concerned, Peter decides to visit the Daily Bugle and is shocked to learn about the publication's severe financial troubles. Unfortunately, the stress takes a toll on J. Jonah Jameson, who suffers a heart attack. Ruh-roh. In light of the Bugle's financial difficulties, Robbie Robertson asks Peter to do what he can to get Spider-Man pictures that he believes would boost circulation, which convinces Peter to return to the web slinging. Okay, so that's how they get him back in the suit. Interesting. Robbie is finally getting on top of things as Dexter Bennett, a celebrity businessman, arrives to inform him that he's bought all of Jameson's Bugle shares and is now running operations. After encountering supervillain Menace, Peter is concerned that Harry might have returned to his goblin glider ways, but Harry's girlfriend, Lily Hollister, provides an alibi. Do we all know who Menace is? Yeah. Oh, yeah. I've seen a lot about the Switch 2 being stupid expensive. Oh, and Ned, $80 for digital games, $90 for physical. By the way. So tack on another 80 or 90 to your list you just put in there. Per game. Anywho, we all know who Menace is? I'm not fucking with you. Piss off. Okay. Digital should be like 50% less. Nope, it's a whole $10 less. Icarus! That is correct, sir. So this is Menace. Menace, also known as Lily Hollister, whose name we just heard as the one that provides an alibi for Harry, which was nice of her considering she's the one that was actually out there getting into shit. Let me do something here. Okay, so there we go. So this is what Menace looks like in the comic book. And Menace is a female goblin. As we found out, her name is Lily Hollister. Same one that we saw in the article that we're checking out about the comic that provided an alibi for Harry Osborn, which, you know, she's in a good place too because she is Menace. And again, it was put out there by a couple different scoopers that Marvel for Spider-Man 4, Marvel / Sony for Spider-Man 4, was looking to cast a female for a main villain role. And here we have in our brand new day synopsis, the comic run, we have Lily Hollister, aka Menace, smack dab in the middle of it. So, we've got stuff moving on. Okay. Now, here's the next section. It is established that Mary Jane and Peter were in a long-term relationship, but things ended badly, and their relationship is now frosty at best. Ooh. As far as Peter, or anyone else remembers, he and Mary Jane did not get married, but cohabitated as a couple since the day of the aborted wedding. It is unclear whether Mary Jane has an awareness of her previous marriage to Peter and their deal with Mephisto. In one conversation, Spider-Man asks, "Do I know you?" To which MJ responds, "We've met in another life." Spider-Man is not aware it is MJ he is speaking to. She is concealing her identity as per her current boyfriend's, film star Bobby Carr, his wishes. However, based on their dialogue from one moment in time, neither MJ nor Peter seem to have any recollection of the deal. Spider-Man speculates that Mary Jane Watson may be the new registered superhero, Jackpot. Oh, registered superhero. So Jackpot's allowed to run around because she worked for the government. Jackpot herself tells Spider-Man that her real name is Sarah Errett. But when Spider-Man visits this woman, she denies all knowledge of this. Sarah is later seen approaching Mary Jane at the airport for an autograph. What's up, Griff? How you doing, man? So, this part here, doesn't really seem to have doesn't line up at all with anything we've heard about so far. Doesn't mean it's not going to be adapted. But it doesn't really line up with anything so far. The only reason this even catches my attention in any way, shape, or form is because of the, at least I think it's still official, the casting of Sadie Sink for this movie. That's the only thing that's got me wondering about the relevancy of this last section here. That's weird. So that's just... Wow, that is a very... Stop it. Yeah. Maybe. Maybe a Sadie Goblin. Thunder. I officially have thunder, chat. Well, I've seen... Oh, Jesus Christ, Icarus. Well, I've seen stranger things. That's the face I see you making right now that I've read that comment. You're just sitting there like, ah. How close am I? Icarus is so punny. Not recently, Prez. I mean, I have farted plenty. I think maybe even within the last hour, but not recently. Well, see, here's the thing. Brooke, here's the thing with the casting of Sadie Sink. Everyone instantly fixated. Well, first when they were just... First of all, it made a lot of sense when we thought she was going to be Jean Grey. And then we found out she's in Spider-Man 4. And of course, the reason we thought she was perfect for Jean is the same reason we're like, MJ variant or their daughter? Or exactly, Griff. Oh, you're joking about the thunder. Jesus Christ. No, I didn't fart. But I will say my gaming chair is a pretty good accentuator of the noise when I do fart in this chair. It does echo. But see, here's the thing. For both roles, the one we thought she was going to get and the one she actually did get, we are completely fixated on the fact that she's a redhead. And none of us are, at least not out loud, shut up, Prez, considering the fact that no one's hair color has to be what the fuck it normally is in Hollywood. She could dye it. She could cut it short enough and throw it up and put a wig on. Many, many ways for her to not be a redhead anymore, to play a character that is not a redhead. And I fell into the same fucking trap. Don't get me wrong. I'm not judging anyone for that. I was in the same boat. First time I saw her for the rumored X-Men casting, fucking Jean Grey. Put it on wax. And then it's like, oh no, she's in Spider-Man 4. And I'm like, and right along with everyone else, I'm like, damn, she would make a really good MJ. And again, just like everyone else, I was not considering the fact that this is fucking Hollywood and she doesn't, and the fact that she's a redhead might not mean shit to the role they fucking hired her for. Like, it does not necessarily follow. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? So, the main crux of all this is, there he is. Now, actually, there was a report that came out. Let me see. Oh, interesting. So anyway, let me see if I can find it. The report came out about Ned, so we're getting Ned back, but that's not the one I'm looking for. Yeah. Okay, yes, I know about Jacob Batalon. Where's the other fucking report I want? Okay. There it is. Now, I've seen this from a much more reliable source than the one I'm showing here. This is just the first one I showed. The first one I found that has to do with the story. So, Marvel Studios is reportedly looking to cast a male between the ages of 30 and 50 to play a villain for Spider-Man Brand New Day, in addition to the female villain role. In addition to. So, we're going to have the female villain. Yeah, we're talking Brand New Day Executive Judge. What up? Yes, we are. Also, what's up? C-Dub, we had tornado sirens go off at 3:56 p.m. in downtown St. Louis today. I'm off at 4 p.m. and work in an 18-story all-glass skyscraper. I clocked out early and tore my ass out of there. Yeah, I don't blame you. So, they want a female villain. The biggest female villain in Brand New Day is Menace. Yeah, 30 to 50 is a huge gap. Pause. But, setting that 20-year age gap aside, you're thinking tooth gap. Okay. So there's some villains that they could be casting for. And there's one that's really, really super interesting that appears in Brand New Day, the comic run, that we're all familiar with and was brought to life magnificently in the Spider-Man game. Can't remember if it's 1 or 2, or I think 2. And that is this motherfucker. Yep. Mr. Negative is got a pretty big villain role in the Brand New Day run. Now, there are other male villains in that run, of course. But he's kind of a big one. He's kind of a big deal. People know him. He's kind of a big deal. So you put his role together with that report about they're looking for a male villain between the ages of 30 and 50. I imagine they'll probably, if it is Negative Man, or Mr. Negative Man, Jesus Christ. If it is Mr. Negative, whoever they cast will probably be closer to the 30 than the 50. But this makes the most sense to me. Especially when you consider they got some weird ass villains in this. Okay, so that's lame. All right, anyway. So I find that interesting. And I'm very much hoping that's what they're doing. Because, like I said, I haven't actually read this run, but I have seen how he is in the storyline in the game, and I think he's a dope fucking character. And he's in the comic run, and they're looking to cast a male villain to go along with their female villain, who is probably Menace, because that's the big female villain in that run. So we can do some informed speculation, chat, based on the comic run. Now, here's the thing with the speculation. We got to keep this in mind. We have to keep this in mind. Marvel Studios has yet to do anything remotely close to a one-to-one adaptation. So we can come up with ideas. We can, they can even make a shit ton of sense, and we could be like, that would be so cool, and get excited. And then Marvel could be like, not what we were thinking. Because, well, they have yet to do a one-to-one adaptation of anything. They do the basics, but they pick and choose. They pick and choose story beats. They pick and choose characters. Like, they would have had to do an entire saga for Civil War if they had actually adapted the full run. You know what I mean? Like, the entire saga would have been the Civil War saga, and then they could have done 3 years worth of shit based off of that run. So, yeah, they adapt, they compress, they condense, they edit, they change. So, we may come up with some ideas that make all the sense in the world. And Marvel could be thinking something different and give us something different. Yep. But at least we can have some ideas of where they might be going. Hope they're going. And we can at least allow ourselves to get, if not excited, intrigued. Maybe even goes to far as to say having anticipation. Anticipating something in a positive way is, that's not too overboard with limited information, But we do need to control our excitement. That's all I'm saying. And it is a long-running joke. It's been a long-running joke with both Marvel and Star Wars, is that the fandom generally can come up with a better story idea than the motherfuckers working for the company. So, but I say, hey, fuck it. We can hope and we can anticipate. What do y'all think, chat? Based on what we just talked about, what do you think? Basically, what do you think about who the villains are going to be? When you combine what we just found out happens in the run with the casting news we have. You think we're onto something, chat, with the Menace and the Mr. Negative? I will say I'm much more sure about Menace than I am Mr. Negative. Just because the female villain pool is a lot smaller in this run. So I feel much more, I don't know, I guess confident in that particular bit of speculation than I do about Mr. Negative. Like, for real talk. But it makes sense. You know, it makes sense when you combine all the info together and stir it up and dish it out onto a plate. It makes sense. Menace and Mr. Negative just make sense. In my mind, in my opinion, to my thought processes. What about you guys, chat? What do you think? That was dumb. What say you, chat? Share with me your thinks. Share with me your thoughts, chat. Come on, you motherfucker. Do. All right, you know what? Oh, click. Bitch. And the rain has arrived. The rain has arrived. Delta Dan says, I think the name has to do with the Doctor Strange spell. Oh, yeah. And Sadie Sink is going to be the actual Mary Jane, and you're with me on the villains. I mean, that is totally possible. That is totally possible. I mean, part of Brand New Day is people not knowing who the fuck he is. Like the comic run. Like that, those line up. Female goblin sounds dope, says Brooke. Could be just as dangerous and psychotic as the male goblin. Oh, definitely. Delta Dan would be surprised as fuck for a girl goblin. Huh? Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Man, why is shit never where I left it? Ugh, annoying. Okay. Okay. So, girl goblin giggity. I'm exactly, Spicy Dan, exactly. All right. That's all we got for the Spiders Mans, as Papa Josh would say. Now we're moving on to Superman Kal-El. First, we will talk about what's official, and then we're going to talk about those leaks. Delta Dan, girl goblin on D's. Precisely, sir. Precisely. So yeah, last night was Warner Brothers' turn, and of course, you know they've got a few movies that they featured and hyped up and shit. But of course, the one we're interested in is Superman. Oh, okay. All right. So, anywho, of course, naturally, since Superman's fucking Superman, Girl Goblin sounds better than Mary Jane Venom. Don't be giving away comic book secrets, Spicy Dan. But also, yeah. Well, it depends on how they wrote it. Like when I first saw that that's what they did in the all new Venom or the brand new Venom, whatever you want to call it. I was like, huh. Like my immediate reaction was just that, like, huh. Okay. I would have to see how they wrote it. My initial reaction, I neither hate it nor love it. I'm curious, I guess. Anywho. So, of course, the cast of Superman, James Gunn, and whatnot all popped out on stage. And, of course, hyped that movie up a lot, as they should. And they showed some footage from the movie. It's basically an extended version of the crashing into the snow scene. We find out a little bit more about what happens after that. But here is the description of that footage. Superman crashes into the snow in the Arctic, which we saw in the teaser. He whistles for Crypto, which we saw in the teaser, who comes for him but immediately wants to play, fighting and jumping all over a wounded Superman. Crypto eventually drags Superman away by his cape and takes him to the Fortress of Solitude, which bursts out of the ice as they get near. That's fucking cool. Many robots greet them at the door, including one voiced by Alan Tudyk. I cannot think of what he sounds like off the top of my head, but the name sounds very familiar. The robots start performing medical treatment on Superman using a magnifying glass to give him a heavy dose of yellow sun. Okay, cool. I'm really hoping, like, the phrase magnifying glass in there does not inspire a shit ton of confidence. I'm pretty sure it's not going to look like someone trying to cook an ant. Although that's literally the image that came to mind when I first read that. I literally quote tweeted that. A fucking magnifying glass? Now, that was, probably a bit of an overreaction, I admit it, but they probably should not have used the term magnifying glass either. It just not wise choice of words when it, like, most people, they read the phrase magnifying glass, the same image that popped in my head is going to pop in their head. He was Steve the Pirate in Dodgeball. I haven't watched that movie in forever. Also Joker in the Harley Show. Okay. Which I also have not watched. So yeah, that's like I said, basically an extended scene from the trailer. Gave us James is really pushing crypto still. That's obvious. Because they could have shown all kinds of other cool shit from the movie, but they chose to use an extended scene featuring a shit ton of crypto and some robots. And a very injured Superman. And that's it. Cool. Like, if I was there watching that, I'd have been like, okay, that's cool and all, but you couldn't have showed us something more dope than the Fortress of Solitude and Superman getting healed by concentrated sunlight and his crazy ass fucking dog. That's really all you got? I mean, that to me, that's just a little bit lame. Like, if you're gonna come with some footage to CinemaCon with your movie only being 3.5 months away, in my opinion, they should have come a lot harder than that footage. Like, I guess there's some other clips and shit shown. I saw something about Metamorpho footage. So we might have got another look at Metamorpho at some point, but overall, a cool thing to show, but not as hype as I would have expected, and if I was James Gunn, that's nowhere near as hype as I would have. I would have gone for, like, fucking, at least half of whatever I showed, which would have been like a good action set piece. Show off some movement, show some shit off. I mean, having a dog drag Superman. I mean, the Fortress of Solitude exploding out of the ground, that's fucking cool. I'm here for that shit. That's pretty dope. But yeah, overall, like, they could have shown him fighting the kaiju, who I'm 98% sure is Metamorpho. They could have shown more footage of him fighting the character we think is Ultraman. What up, Travis? The one we saw him fighting in the baseball field. There's all kinds of shit they could have shown that would have come a lot harder than the full version of the rescue that they showed a little bit of in the trailer. So, I don't know. That maybe that's just me, but like you're coming down to the wire on this fucking movie. Pretty much not just DC Studios, but like the entire parent company studio is kind of relying on this movie to like pop hard. So I'd be picking, you know, bigger scenes, ballsier scenes, impactful, like really impactful scenes for this. But that's just me. Now, what do you guys think, chat? What do you guys think? About that footage, the description, what happened in it? Superman fighting Ultraman in the new Superman film will be dope. Yeah, that's the going theory on who that person was that he was fighting with, like whose face you cannot see. Not surprised on the Crypto the Dog stuff. Yeah, neither am I. I really honestly don't know what he's thinking with like pushing Crypto so fucking hard. I take that back. I may know what he's thinking. I feel like he is by pushing Crypto, you know, cute little scruffy dog that, you know, playful and bouncy and kind of an asshole, but super loving. He's trying to get theaters full of fucking families. Like he wants families in there. He wants motherfuckers in there 3 to 5, 6, 7 people at a time. Yeah, merch would also be helpful. Daniel, you are correct. Merch would also be very, very helpful right about now. I mean, I know there's t-shirts with the new symbol on it. Those have been out for a minute, but it's like they don't have a lot of varied merch. Like there's no Luther merch. Like there's nothing with anyone's face on it anywhere. Yeah, they're kind of slacking when it comes to the merch. They're letting that go. They could be doing more, basically, is what that boils down to. And as much pressure as this movie has on it, they not only could be doing more. In my opinion, they have to be doing more. I mean, it is going to be a fine line to walk, by between hype and looking fucking desperate. And you're generally going to get split opinions on whether you cross that line or not. No, this shit's hype. Now that looks motherfucking desperate, bro. Fuck you, that shit's hype. It's a fine line to walk. It's a very fine line to walk. But I think they got a fair amount of room to get closer to that fucking line. You know what I mean? That's just me. That's just me. That's just me. What do you guys think, though? Okay. What do you guys thinky? Delta Dan, heard the next 2 episodes of Hot D or 2 seasons of Hot D are only 8 episodes again. Boo, Warner Brothers. I've only heard about next season. But yeah, that 8 episodes is some bullshit. I want Superman to be dope. It would help Warner Brothers stop being cheap on House of the Dragon. I mean, yeah. It could help with that. It very well could help with that. Brooke says, personally, I feel like Lex Luthor will be the best part of the film for me. Nailing him correctly will go towards a long way to making Superman great. I agree with that. I think Holt will probably be the best part of the film. I think a strong Lex Luthor character, not just like, not physically strong, but a very well done, very well acted, strong in that way, Lex Luthor, will be very, very, very advantageous to the popularity of this movie. I do agree with that, bro. I do. A couple other things they talked about at that presentation. James mentioned the incorporation of some form of magic in this movie, supernatural shit. He's introducing pocket dimensions, pocket universes, which I'm sure those that love both Marvel and DC, out of that group, those who are tired of multiverse shit with Marvel, which is a fair chunk of people at this point, who are hoping for a break on that shit from over in the DCU. If Gunn's already throwing around pocket dimensions, it looks like they're going to be pretty fucking disappointed. You're not getting a break. Now, admittedly, pocket dimensions is different from the multiverse as we understand it, so far as the MCU goes, but it's still multiversal. Pocket dimensions are still technically multiversal. So, the more news we get, the more it seems like Gunn's DCU is going to end up not being that different from the MCU. That's what it's starting to look like. That's what it's starting to look like, at least to me. Like, not a shit ton, don't get me wrong. Not a shit ton, but, like, there's some stuff that he talked about not doing, and now he's kind of fucking doing it. And it's not surprising, because the way he was thinking of trying to do a shared universe was not going to work. Adjustments are starting to be made. Exactly, Delta Dan. Exactly. So he's making adjustments, and those adjustments go in the MCU direction. Yep, they do. They do. Now, let's talk about those leaks. So, whether you're lurking or have made it this far in the replay, warning, I'm going to be talking about leaks for Superman. Now, are they necessarily real? No, but they could be, and therefore we're talking about some massive potential spoilers. So if you don't want to be privy to any kind of information that could be and that could end up being true about the movie, if you are watching live and lurking, mute me or dip out and come back in a few minutes. I don't know, 5-10 minutes, maybe 10 minutes, maybe longer, who knows. Or if you're on the replay, fast forward because it's about to get potentially massively fucking spoilery. Okay? It's more true than you know, Daniel, as you'll find out eventually. Del Dan says, spoil it, I'll forget anyway. Okay, I have given people long enough. Let's talk about the most important one that's come out. And that is that it according to the leaks, and also according to one of Papa Josh's most trusted sources, James Gunn has turned Jor-El into Omni-Man. What do I mean by that? Supposedly, when Superman gets to the Fortress of Solitude and gets to the recording of Papa Jor-El, the message is not going to be one of peace and being a guiding light to humankind, like we're used to. It's quite the opposite. It's straight up Viltrumite shit. It's conquer these sad, pathetic motherfuckers for Krypton. Basically is what the message boils down to. They're turning Jor-El into a Viltrumite, according to this leak. Now, my initial reaction to this is no. What the fuck are you even doing? And I'm not even that big of I'm not even that big of a Superman purist, you know? Like, I haven't read a shit ton of Superman books. I mean, like any other comic book character, his power scaling has gone crazy, up and down. But Superman's origin story is not just well established amongst people who know comic books. It's well established in the pop culture zeitgeist and has been since Superman the movie. Going on 50 years. We're going on 50 years for A New Hope, and then we're going on 50 years, although after, we're closer to A New Hope's 50th than we are to Superman's 50th, but we're not very far away from Superman's 50th either. Yeah, thanks to Christopher Reeve, Margot Kidder, Gene Hackman. You know, that's basically the Superman origin story. You know, Krypton dying, Jor-El trying to save his son, explaining to his son in the message like how powerful he's going to be, and that, you know, he can be and should be a guiding light for humankind to show us a goal to strive for in terms of just being good creatures, human beings, even though Superman's not human, he's Kryptonian. But you know what I fucking mean. Anyway, that's what we're all used to. That's how it was established in Superman the movie. It's how it was reestablished in Man of Steel. It's how it's been in the comics. I don't know. I haven't checked. I only just now thought to check. I don't know if someone's ever done a run over at DC under the Superman title where Jor-El was like this. I don't know if it has any basis on the page. Here's what I do know. Not a fan of the idea. Not a fan of the idea. I don't want Omni-Man Jor-El. That is a good movie, Brooke. Sounds like the script of The Boys. Sounds like the script to Invincible. And that is, you're right, Icarus. That is a little bit of what Homelander was trying to do with his kid, too. That is true. I see what you're getting at. I agree. There's some similarity there too. I've never watched Dragon Ball, but from what I'm given to understand, that's also a Saiyan-like thing. Now, again, I'm not like, I don't have the deep knowledge. I'm not a purist per se, but you know, there's some things you just don't fuck with. And to me, Jor-El being benevolent and, you know, everything that goes with being benevolent, I don't want that fucked with, me personally. And I think, and the reason I'm making a point of me not being a purist is to say I don't even have the knowledge of purists, and I still feel that way. Saying, yeah, what'd I say? Did I say it wrong? My bad. So if I feel that way, just imagine how Superman, like actual Superman purists, are gonna feel about that shit. What's up, Brennan? Like, just imagine. Okay, well, you want to know how Superman purists, how I think Superman purists are gonna react to that shit? How did Star Wars fans react to the way Luke Skywalker was treated in The Last Jedi? Where his character was basically flipped to be the opposite of what he should have been. In this case, Luke Skywalker went from being badass savior of the galaxy, twice technically, to a broken old fart just hiding away from everything. How did we as Star Wars fans feel about that shit? Most of us didn't fucking like it. That's how we felt about that shit. Now, think about the equivalent group in the Superman fan base. Same situation. Taking a character that they know and love and are used to being a certain way and making him the opposite. There's going to be a fair chunk of the Superman fandom that is not going to fucking fly with at all. Brendan agrees. Icarus says that'll be kryptonite to them, kinda. Delta Dan says, I'm not that mad at this. Throw a curveball. He was raised by John and Martha Kent anyway. I'm not a Superman purist, though. I mean, yeah, that would be another interesting statement on nature versus nurture, I suppose. That could be a thing. There's other ways to do it, though. Daniel Spicy Dan says, I read the Death and Life of Superman novel when I was a kid. I own e-copies of it. Dope! Delta Dan, let's save the Luke talk. That shit hurt. I mean, right? Brendan says, Jor-El in Smallville was portrayed misunderstood at times by Kal-El. See, I never watched that show. And I know everyone that I've talked to is like, how do you not watch Smallville? That show's amazing. I know. Okay? I fucking know. But I haven't watched it. No, you have not missed the Star Wars talk. That's next. Brooke says, I like the way Jor-El was portrayed in Man of Steel. That film will always be a classic film, in my opinion. I totally agree. Russell, I like the way... I like how they wrote him. I like how they wrote him. Russell Crowe acted the shit out of that role. Yeah, I agree. Kendall! What's going on, my guy? How you doing, man? No, Icarus, I haven't watched Smallville. I know. Did I not just get done saying I know like 40 fucking times? Oh, no! Oh, Brendan just finished Smallville. Griff says, K? K, are you K-ing, sir? Travis says, that would mean an alternate take where Jor-El is revealed to survive Krypton, living with the loss of everything, watching Clark from afar. Oh, you haven't finished it either? Okay. Not necessarily. He doesn't necessarily have to have survived Krypton. He just has to leave the message about, like, bro, this is your heritage. Get to fucking work. But it could be. That's what everyone that's ever watched it that I know has told me, Spicy Dan. Literally every fucking one of them. There was no dithering, no, broad spectrum of opinion. Everyone I know that's watched Smallville said, you gotta fucking watch Smallville. So, yeah. There's potentially intriguing dynamic of Superman's dad being a prick until the planet is destroyed, lives with that guilt, seeing Superman as a beacon of hope in the end. I mean, maybe, although I really don't need a fucking Jor-El redemption arc in my Superman movie. How have I not watched Smallville? By simply never turning on CW. That's how. I need the Steve Rogers notebook. I mean, kind of. I really should, actually make an actual list instead of just looking at the lists I have on the various streaming platforms I have. You know what I mean? But yeah, if this leak turns out to be as real as some people think it is, I'm not a fan on paper. I'll tell you that much. But I am willing to withhold 96% of my judgment till I see how they execute it and what they do with it. Yeah. It's kind of where I'm at with it right now. Hope it's not real, but if it is real, not a fan on paper, but I will obviously see how it's executed. Wait to see how it's executed before making any final pronouncements. But off rip, no, not for this guy, not for chilling. I cannot chill with that idea. At least not right now. If they somehow manage to execute it in a badass way, then, I might come around. I may change my mind. Travis, I also like the idea of Jor-El showing up on Earth and either meeting Pa Kent, seeing the contrast in parenting, and reacting to Kent dying and how that affects Clark. Well, do we know that Pa Kent's going to die in this movie? I mean, obviously he died in Man of Steel. Oh, I'm going in hopeful, Brooke. I'm going in hopeful. I'm hoping I like that fucking movie. I'll be going in hoping that leak wasn't real. Yeah. I'm just not the biggest fan of that idea. Like, I don't hate it. Like Superman purists, they're gonna fucking hate it. Hate it. So we'll see how that goes if it's real again. Trevor says, in The Amazing Spider-Man, Martin Sheen's Uncle Ben is kind of a hard ass. Very different from the Goody Two-Shoes version in the Raimi films. But I think Sheen makes it feel more like a real person. Well, I'm just a Martin Sheen fan. I haven't watched the Garfield Man's movies in a while. Actually, I haven't watched Toby Man movies in a while either. But yeah, that was a slightly different take, but it's not like it's not the kind of flip that this leak would be doing to Jor-El. Now, if they turn him into like an abuser, like if he was beaten at me, that's the kind of flip I'm talking about, and that's the kind of flip this feels like to me. Thunder! Wow, wow, wow! Thunder! I have more thunder happening over there and over there and over there. So that's kind of where I stand. How much do I think it's going to make? Whew. Well, first of all, let me say, July is fucking packed. Jurassic World 4, Superman, Fantastic Four. All potential massive moneymakers. If they weren't crammed so close together, they all probably would be massive moneymakers. Problem is they all come out within 4 weeks of each other. Total. 3 movies within 4 weeks of each other. That's not enough room for any of them to go gangbusters, in my opinion. I think they could all do really, really well. But I don't see. I feel like the congestion, the closeness, the proximity, if you will. I think that's going to result in none of those movies making $1 billion. That's the first thing I want to say. I don't think any of those 3 movies is going to crack $1 billion because they're too close together. Now, that being said, Superman. How much will Superman make? Well, Superman is the middle child in this scenario. So if any of you out there watching live or on the replay are middle children, you'll know what I'm getting at. So Superman's the middle child. I feel like Superman's ceiling probably around 850. I think that's its ceiling. I mean, it could easily do more. Like, things could shift. I don't think anybody's shifting out of their premiere date. But I'm just saying, like, public taste could shift in ways that could change that. Right? Like, if Jurassic World could have, like, it probably will have a monster opening weekend, right? But if it sucks, second weekend's going to tank, and people are going to be ready for the next thing. And guess what the next thing is? Superman. So, but if Jurassic World does even reasonably well, like if people like it, yeah, seal it 850 max. But even even with the leak, I still think that movie could. I don't think it would make less than like 550. I think that's the lowest that would go. 556 probably. We'll give it a $300 million range. I say 550 low end, 850 high end for Superman. Jurassic Park breaks $1 billion. Superman maybe 900 and probably the same or a little more for Fantastic Four. I don't know. I mean, the economy ain't great. I guarantee it's not going to be improved by July, but I'm not going into why right now. This ain't the channel for that, but I have plenty of reasons to think that. I don't know that people are going to want to spend that much. You know? They're just too close together. That's like the main thing. Between movie theater prices, the movie theater experience, and the general lack of respect that happens in theaters, and the proximity of them. Nah. That again, that's just me. I can see it making $1 billion. Like if it's super dope, a shit ton of people could go see that its first 2 weeks, get most of its money there, and then it can finish creeping after Superman comes out. Superman not being well received would help that. Like there's a lot of back and forth that could make it true. Like any one of those three could make $1 billion depending on the performance of the other two. But yeah, I don't see any of them making $1 billion. Superman probably around 850. Jurassic Park. Jurassic World, I guess it is. I don't know. Dinosaurs are pretty popular, but on the other hand, while the previous Jurassic Worlds have all made serious bank, not one of them has had anything remotely like this level of competition for any of them. Nothing like this. None of them had two humongous IP movies coming out within 3 weeks of it before. 4 weeks. So, like, just the proximity of those movies allows for so much potential ebb and flow, and it all depends on how each movie is received. Like, say, Jurassic Park has a humongous opening weekend, right? And then it's super well received. So it has like one of the smallest second weekend drops in history, right? Say that. And it's cruising really well. Now, it's going to take a hit when Superman comes out. Period. That's just going to happen. Superman's going to open huge, right? But if it's not well received, people could turn them back around and be like, fuck that movie. I'm going to go watch me some Jurassic World one more time just to get the taste of this stupid fucking shit out of my mouth. And that could get Jurassic World to $1 billion. And the same holds true. Like Jurassic World could have a huge opening weekend, not be well received, and have a tanky second weekend. Superman could be dope, and it could have a really good 2 weeks, but then Fantastic Four comes out. Now, they haven't really gotten the hype train going on that movie yet, and I don't know fucking why. What the fuck are you doing, Marvel? That's a whole nother subject, though. But, if they've got the Marvel hype train going pretty well by the time that rolls around, F4 could put a serious damper on any momentum Jurassic World and or Superman would have. But that'll also be the third movie out that month, which means people have been spending a fair chunk of money prior to that. So that could cut into F4's box office. It's a very fluid thing. And a lot of that fluidity has to do with the fact that those three motherfucking movies are all coming out in the same goddamn month. This is like one of the more wild things we've had. It's different from Barbenheimer. Who brought that up? Delta Dan. Maybe a Barbenheimer thing? Well, it'd have to be a three-way. It'd have to be a menage of some sort. And those two opened the same weekend, which is that's what really got that going. Those opened the same weekend. These movies are not opening the same weekend. Travis says a big marketing push in the new Jurassic World is that new mutant dinosaur, which on the posters looks really confusing. It looks like a goddamn xenomorph. That's what it looks like. Now, that was the whole crux of the Barbenheimer thing, was they premiered the same weekend. You could go boom, boom, and get completely opposite takes, starting, depending on how you want. Did you want to start serious and fun, or, the other way? But they premiered the same weekend, so you could do that you could do the Barbenheimer thing for both their runs until, one of them left theaters, whichever one left first. I don't know if they stay the same. So yeah, there's so many different ways it could go, but the law of averages, statistically speaking, mathematically speaking, everything else remaining equal, we're looking at 3 movies. All are probably going to make 700 to 900 probably when it's all said and done. All 3 of them. But again, depending on reception and shit, those numbers can and will fluctuate. Someone will get lower, someone will get more money. You heard the first 10 minutes of F4 super good, like Top Gun 2 good? Where did you hear this, sir? I did not run across this. And I can't spend 24/7 on Twitter, so I will miss things from here. That is true. They will all be in the theater at the same time, but not till the end of the month. I mean, some people might be like, hey, triple feature! And go do that shit. But, it was a lot easier to make Barbenheimer a thing because of that timing. Yes, exactly. Thank you, Spicy Dan. Yes. We lost Val Kilmer yesterday, in case by some miracle you haven't fucking heard that. The Iceman, Doc Holliday, which is my favorite role of his, Jim Morrison, the Saint, countless other fucking roles here and there, of course. Both Top Guns, naturally. Heat. All kinds of shit. Man was really, really good. Like I said, for me, Doc Holliday was his best role. My personal favorite role of his in Tombstone. We've all seen Tombstone, haven't we, chat? Have we all seen Tombstone? Like, y'all want to give me shit for some of the stuff I haven't seen? Batman, of course. Jesus fucking Christ. Oh, I saw... Did you guys see someone posted his last Instagram video where he put on a Batman cowl? I know I quote tweeted it. Where the fuck did it go? Oh, here it is. I don't know if y'all seen this or not.
All right.
I'll mute it. But this was Val Kilmer's final Instagram video. I'm not going to play the sound. I didn't think he could talk. What's up with that? But bruh. Bruh. Yes, that too, Travis. Barbenheimer also worked because of how drastically different the films were. That was a big part of it. One film would have been the palate cleanser for the other film. You know? If anyone would be smart enough to push for a triple double feature, it would probably be Gunn and Feige. Smart enough? Yes. Ego small enough to do it? No, and that's true for both of them motherfuckers. I mean, obviously, I think Feige's a much better executive than James Gunn is, but let's be real. You don't get to be the head of shit in Hollywood if you're not throwing around and carrying around a massive fucking ego. So, yeah. Ghost in the Darkness. Oh yeah, Willow. Prince of Egypt, right. Oh yeah, that's right. He did voice work for that. But yeah, I gotta go, at least for now, law of averages, 7 to 900 for all three. For now. Now, marketing between now and then, reception, what we see about the reception of said marketing between now and then, predictions can change. But for now, I am fence riding with that law of averages, and I'm going to say 700 to 900 million each, depending. That's what I'm going with. For now. All right. So here's what we're going to do next, folks. Oh, Jesus Christ. Why are you making me scroll so far, you motherfucker? Okay, there we go. Okay. All right. So, chat. Here's what we're going to do. I'm going to go take a leak. And then, believe it or not, we're going to talk about Star Wars. And brace yourselves. Grab whatever you feel will be most handy. A reasonable chunk of it's actually good. What? Yes, I said it. A reasonable chunk of it's actually good. So, we're going to talk about that shit after I tinkle. I'll be back shortly. And we're back. Your favorite Batman of the first 4 films? They kind of pretty much go in order for me, but he was really good. I enjoyed his Batman. Really, Clooney's the only that it was just that 4th movie that sucked my balls. Like Clooney sucked. It was that I just don't like fucking Batman and Robin. I just don't. I just don't. But anyway, Real Genius, Top Secret, Tombstone, Top Gun, Maverick. So many, yes, exactly, Brennan, exactly. All right. Let us talk. The fuck. I literally just had this pulled up. Where'd it go? You motherfucker. Hate this shit. Oh, there we go. Ah, here we are.
Just do as I say.
Shush. Okay. Oh, actually, you know what? A better way to do it would be this way. You're a dumbass. What a ninny. Okay. All right. So, first thing about the Star Wars is that I'm going to talk about. A trailer was dropped for a Star Wars show. An animated feature called Tales of the Underworld. Now, on the surface, all right, cool. But then, oh yeah, that's right, I gotta do that too. But then, I found out who the characters were. And I said, oh, really? And then I saw the trailer. And I was like, is Star Wars animation back? Let's find out together. We're going to watch this fucking trailer. God, every time. It's so annoying. We are going to watch this trailer for Tales of the Underworld. And then we're going to talk about it some. And then we'll talk about some Star Wars leaks. Just like with the Warner Brothers, we're starting official and then ending with the potential spoilers. So this is the trailer for the new Star Wars animated anthology entitled Tales of the Underworld.
Just do as I say. Never can be too cautious with strangers out here. Then again, you're no stranger. Lady Ventress.
Yeah, Ventress.
We got a problem here. Just saw him right in.
Oh, may the 4th be with us. Aw, shit. Cad motherfucking boom.
What's the situation?
He was your best friend. Things have changed.
You took everything from me.
Who are you?
I was Count Dooku's lead assassin. I don't want that life anymore.
Alright, who's the fucking kid? Oh shit, Inquisitor?
Bane? No one needs to die.
Oh. Anyone recognize that, Inquisitor?
Get them.
Okay, he's a Padawan.
You're gonna pay for what you did. This revenge, I hope it was worth it.
It will be.
Okay. What? What? Nope. Stop it. Stop it. We're not watching Meg. Sorry. I like me some Meg, but... Hold your horsies. Easy peaties. Going nuts on me. Alright. Actually, I don't know why I did that. Get out of here. Anyway. What do you guys think? What did you think of the trailer for Tales of the Underworld? I'll tell you what I think. I think it looked pretty fucking good. I don't want to do a full breakdown of it right now, because it's already late. Can probably do a full breakdown of it on Saturday. I just want to kind of talk about our feelings about it for a minute. And my feeling is, that's a pretty fucking dope trailer. And I am very much looking forward to May the 4th. Or at least that part of May the 4th. Now, it is just like the other Tales of fill in the blank. A 6-episode anthology with... exactly. A 6-episode anthology with 3 episodes dedicated to each main character. In this case, 3 episodes for Ventress and 3 episodes for Cad Bane. Outside of Boba or Django, these are probably the 2 best choices they could have made, in my opinion. Now, let us recall that Lucasfilm made that Tales of the Empire, that Tales of the Empire trailer looked pretty fucking good, didn't it? You remember that? We're like, ooh, Tales of the Empire, let's go. And then the trailer came, when we heard about it, and then the trailer came out, it's like, oh shit, here we fucking go. And then we watched it, and we're like, oh shit, the fuck? So there is the possibility of that happening again. But on the other hand, there was Tales of the Jedi. Really? Here's, I think, the biggest problem with Tales of the Empire as compared to Tales of the Jedi and with now Tales of the Underworld. The biggest problem was character choice. Tales of the Jedi, we got Dooku, which is fucking dope, and we got a little more Ahsoka. Okay, but it's Filoni. Ahsoka's his bitch. Whatever. At least those were decent episodes. But Dooku, fuck yeah. Tales of the Empire. Out of all the people they could have picked, they picked fucking Barriss Offee. And shit, I don't even remember who the other one was. That's how forgettable it fucking was. Poor character choices. Very poor character choices. Does anyone remember who the other 3 episodes were about? By the way, it was Barriss Offee, and what was the other one that they followed? Other character, I fucking forget. Hopefully KK went on a little vacay while Dave did his thing. Did you mean that to rhyme? Because it did. And even if you didn't mean it to rhyme, you probably should claim that you did, because it's kind of clever. Oh yeah, Morgan Elsbeth. Those weren't too bad, honestly. But again, side characters. Yes, Brennan, it was. Yeah, Brooke got it. It was Morgan Elsbeth. Um, but yeah, side characters. I don't know what the fuck it is with Disney lately, and this applies to both Lucasfilm and Marvel, at least phases 4 and 5 of Marvel. What is this obsession they have with trying to make us love side characters? Stop it, Disney. All of you, stop it. It does not work, except in rare circumstances. The big rare circumstance I can think of is Guardians of the Galaxy. That shit was an anomaly. It was not the way shit was going to go. They learned the wrong lesson from that one. All of our nerdy companies, please stop pushing side characters. We don't fucking care. Okay? So, Dooku and Ahsoka, leading characters for Tales of the Jedi. Berezofi and Morgan Elsbeth, side characters for Tales of the Empire. And now we come to Tales of the Underworld. And we get Asajj Ventress and Cad Bane. Lead characters. A reason for confidence. Outside of the dopeness of that trailer, because that was a dope trailer. At least I thought it was. That was a dope trailer. It'd been better if it was Tarkin or someone like that for Tales of the Empire? Oh, yes. Yeah, definitely, Brennan. Definitely. Agatha was good, too? Yeah, Agatha was good. Brennan, no one ever really loves their side piece. You just want more Vader scenes in Tales of the Empire? Well, I mean, if they were going to give us that, then yes, they should have given us either more Vader or zero Vader. But don't just give me Vader in a chair breathing at people. The fuck? Yeah, so good choices with Tales of the Jedi, character-wise, story-wise. Poor choices for Tales of the Empire, character-wise, story-wise. What up, Kendall? Now we have Tales of the Underworld. And we're starting off with a dope trailer, which both of the previous offerings had. We're starting off with a dope trailer, and we're starting off with characters that are big characters, they're lead characters, they're characters that are popular. So now it just comes down to the stories. We have the trailer. We have the appropriate level of importance for the characters. We have the appropriate level of popularity for the characters that are going to be featured. The odds are in this one's favor, in my opinion. Brooke says, I guess if we get to see both these characters acting as badass as they can be in Tales of the Underworld, it would be good. Yes, exactly. Just make sure the characters are true to themselves. True. Yes. That. 100% agree, Brooke. Travis says, I'm more excited for this than the last two Tales shows. That Kid Ventress takes on looks like young Jude Law from Skeleton Crew, though it isn't. No, it's not. I don't know. I'd have to rewatch it, but I mean, yeah, she stumbled upon a Padawan, which I know some people are going to be like, how many motherfucking people survived Order 66? Well, let me tell you. At the time of Order 66, there were over 10,000 Jedi in the galaxy, spread all over motherfucking Kingdom Come. Assuming Order 66 was 95% efficient, 95%. That still leaves a little over 500 Jedi out there spread across the galaxy. That big-ass galaxy, 500 motherfuckers. Some of them bitches survived all the way till the end of the Empire and past it, i.e., Jude Law's character, whose 5 names I've already forgotten. Oh yeah, Jod Nanawood. Kid looked like young Bobo a little bit. Yep. Oh yes, definitely Brooke Tales of the Sith. But yeah, I know there's a lot of people out there don't like it, but like once you inject math into it, the amount of Jedi that Lucasfilm has been having pop up in comics and books and shit, statistically makes sense. I'll put it that way. It statistically makes sense. Yeah, exactly, Delta Dan. Really like both these characters. Travis says, Tales of the Droids was C-3PO's life before he was rebuilt by Anakin. Then Anakin finds him. Then put that with D.O., Ochi's droid from the sequels, watching as Ochi hunts raised... No, Travis. No. No. Okay. Final words on Tales of the Underground? Because now we got to get into some leaks. And for these leaks, we are going to refer to Papa Josh as he is at least the public source of these leaks. So let us therefore listen to the Papa Josh, and then we'll talk about it.
Star Wars fans, we need to talk.
Okay, first things first, what the fuck is that picture? It's just hilarious. Okay.
Recently, I was contacted by an old and trusted source that I have not heard from in a long, long time.
It's an older code, sir, but it checks out.
And I was given an absolute metric ton of information about Star Wars. And frankly, these days, I don't make a lot of videos about Star Wars. Shit kind of sucks. I'm kind of over it. I'm really disappointed. You know, super toxic fan these days. But a lot of the stuff I heard recently is actually dope as hell. It has me incredibly excited for at least Ahsoka Season 2 and potentially Star Wars overall. Don't get me wrong. There's some bad news, man. We're going to talk about some shit in this video that's like, what the is going on over there? However, in the midst of all of that, there is some hope. And so I want to explain overall what I heard. I'm going to go into crazy detail. I'm going to spoil the shit out of these shows and movies. I don't give a anymore, so I'm going to just do it all in this video. I guess if you don't want spoilers, don't watch it or whatever, but I'm about to tell you everything that's going on. A lot of this has me excited. I'm sorry, Dave. Dave, you're my boy, Blue. You're my boy, Blue. No, you don't like spoilers. I'm super sorry about this shit, but I'm actually trying to get people excited here. But so first off, Ahsoka Season 2. My goodness, I thought it was going to be really good. A lot of the rumors surrounding it seemed cool. But even I had no idea how much Dave was trying to do in this season. He is swinging for the absolute fences. First thing we want to talk about, Abeloth. Abeloth, 100% confirmed. A huge part of Season 2. They cast somebody really good for Abeloth. And of course, this
when is Josh?
Long-held theory by me that the thing that was calling to Balin in Season 1 was Abeloth. I was the first person to make a big video about this back in the day after watching some of the episodes of Season 2. There were clues and breadcrumbs as far as why I thought it was Abeloth.
Unlike his Doom theory, which came from chat.
According to this insider information, 100% Abeloth. Big part of the show. Second thing that's crazy about Ahsoka Season 2, and I'm curious as to how the normies will respond to this, but you're getting a shit ton of Anakin Skywalker. Anakin is a huge part of the story. He's a series regular. In Force Ghost form, he's probably going to be hanging out with Sabine and Ahsoka a lot. And honestly, that makes perfect sense if you're following the big-time lore, the stuff with the Celestials, the One, the Father, the Daughter, the Son, all the Mortis stuff. That's absolutely what Dave is cooking here.
I fucking love the Mortis arc. What do you guys think about the Mortis arc in general? Like, I fucking dig the Mortis arc. I love that they're going in this direction. What do you guys think? I'm a fan. 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 Brooke says Mortis arc is probably my favorite part about the Clone Wars besides season 7. Yeah, season 7 was pretty fucking dope. Even the Ahsoka side quest. Yeah, Spicy Dan says, hell yeah, Brennan liked it. Okay, so yeah. Twitterpeer were at least mostly all pretty down for it. Delta Dan loves it. Watched way too many videos on it. Prez says, I always wanted a fan fiction of the Mortis arc without Anakin's memories being wiped. Oh, sweet Jesus. That would change, well, literally everything. If he remembered what he saw about his future. That would be crazy. Why don't you submit that idea to Theory, bruh? He'll probably fucking do it. When he's done with Vader episode 2 and 3, that is. That would be fucking cool, though. I'll tell you, I'll bet you this, Prez. I will bet you this. And I'm gonna say the 2 letters. You'll probably have one of those in the not too distant future thanks to AI. Yeah, I said it. I fucking said it. Oh, God damn it. I can't change my damn cameras with hitting the number pad without fucking this goddamn video moving on me. Piece of shit. Anyway. Excuse me. You were just about to say that? That's funny. But yeah, I 100% agree with Josh's take when it comes to AI. Fan films, fanfic is going to fucking explode. I mean, like what was the article that Josh talked about, which came out the day after he proposed pretty much the exact same thing. The newer generations are on this app. They're on the Twitx. They're on the Gram. They watch most of their stuff online. But when I say they watch most of their stuff online, I mean most of the stuff that they watch is not movies and TV shows. It's content like this, live streams, videos, reels on Instagram, shorts and videos and live streams here, live streams on Twitch. Live streams on any platform that you can do it. Videos of varying lengths on varying TikTok. Quick aside, did y'all hear that Amazon's trying to buy TikTok before it gets banned on Saturday? Did y'all hear about this shit? Yeah, and Bezos is trying to buy the talk. How fun is that? Anyway, yeah, the shit's gonna go nuts, and Hollywood's just gonna fall farther and farther behind unless they completely change the way they think. Completely change the way they think. But that's beside the point. Let us get back to leaks, but hopefully not out of our buttholes. Close enough. How'd that get muted?
And honestly, that makes perfect sense if you're following the big time lore, the stuff with the Celestials, the One, the Father, the Daughter, the Son, all the Mortis stuff. That's absolutely what Dave is cooking here. My own speculation is that Anakin Skywalker is the father and that this whole thing with the mother is connected to...
I agree with that, by the way. Anakin father, Ahsoka daughter. Now we just need Abeloth and the son. And I think Balin's going to end up being the son.
Some big time Force thing, huge lore breaking potential thing. That's what Peridia is. That's what this whole season's gonna be. It's crazy. So Hayden Christensen, Anakin Skywalker, series regular. You're getting a ton of Anakin in season 2. I wonder what you think about that. Next thing we got to talk about, Tamara Morrison. Oh my God, Boba Fett himself is gonna be in the show again, probably playing Rex or some other characters, one of the clones. And as a small side note here, I was also told that Tim Morrison has a big announcement for Star Wars Celebration next month. I think it's probably Boba Season 2, and hopefully they actually just make him a badass bounty hunter again. But that I'm not.
Okay, that would be dope. And of course, if like Josh says, they turn him back to the badass he should be. But perhaps foolishly assuming they do, fuck yeah. Because I'm a big fan of Boba Fett, and I'm also a big fan of Ming-Na Wen and Shannik Fan.
Not 100% sure on. I was just told he has a big
Fennec Shand. Not Shannik Fan. Fennec Shand. God damn it.
announcement. He's going to be in Ahsoka Season 2. That's cool. All right, next crazy thing. Ewan McGregor is in the show. I know, but it's true. Obi-Wan. Obi-Wan is in the show, not only for flashbacks. Mandela Greenberg, or whatever her name is, the young Ahsoka.
Ariana Greenblatt, you fuck.
She's back too, so they're going to do flashbacks with Hayden, Ewan, and young Ahsoka. Oh my God, we're finally getting it. Probably more extensive than what they did in Season 1. That's probably sort of a trial run, and they were, just figuring out how to potentially do that in Season 1. I think they can expand on it now in Season 2. But here's the thing that's crazy. I'm pretty sure Ewan McGregor is not just back for flashbacks, and there's something crazy going on with Force Ghosts, Cosmic Nature, the Ones, Abeloth. Oh my God. And that leads me to the next one, man. Friggin' Liam Neeson. He said he was done, but he also said he was never going to be in that Kenobi show before he actually appeared in it. Liam Neeson as Qui-Gon will be in Ahsoka Season 2, likely in Force Ghost form as well. This has to do with the crazy. I mean, like, guys, are you listening to what I'm saying right now? They're going crazy with Force Ghost and Cosmic Force, Jedi, Sith, Abeloth-esque stuff. They're absolutely going for it. I can't believe it. This one's going to blow your freaking mind and probably make your butthole quiver. Sam Witwer.
Okay, just before we get into this awesomeness that's about to be brought upon us. Out of everything we've seen so far, I feel like, yeah, that too, Brennan. I feel like I'm not sure how much, I'm not sure how much I believe the Liam Neeson thing. I mean, I don't disbelieve it, but I am admittedly skeptical. I don't know what you guys think about that one, but that's the only part so far that has been like, yeah. I mean, it'd be dope, obviously. I mean, I'll take all the Qui-Gon you want to dish out if you can get Liam Neeson to do it. It just, I mean, he probably is going to be in it, but that's the one I'm actually like skeptical about so far.
Fan favorite actor from the Clone Wars, from Rebels, famously did Maul for so long. Sam Witwer is going to play the son in flashbacks to Mortis in Ahsoka Season 2. Oh my God, we're finally getting, and he's actually going to play the son in the flashbacks. They have apparently cast actors to play the father and the daughter from the Mortis flashbacks as well. They might even be the voice actors, I'm not sure. But you're getting Sam Witwer, and I'll just throw in another bonus thing here. It's absolutely nuts. If you're a huge Darth Maul fan, well, guess what? The next big Star Wars animated show is focusing on Darth Maul, and I would expect Sam Witwer to be back to voice the main Darth Maul in that show. And then finally,
I love that shit. I fucking love the Darth Maul show. I am quite thrilled about that one, I must say. Okay, I'm sorry, but this look, does he not look like he just let loose a very relieving fart? Is this not? Oh, that was a good fart face. That's what that looks like to me. Anyway.
expect Sam Witwer to be back to voice the main Darth Maul in that show. And then finally, what I can reveal is that there's obviously a Thrawn element happening in the main Star Wars galaxy. I don't know how much of that will be in the actual season 2 of Ahsoka, but I know for sure we're going to get a scene with Leia and Mon Mothma talking about Grand Admiral Thrawn. And the reason that's so cool is because we know they still have a plan to use Leia and Han and Luke, most likely in Dave Filoni's Heir to the Empire movie, which I think is still the movie that he's planning to do in 2027 or 2028. And we haven't seen Leia a lot in the Mandoverse. We obviously got a lot of young Luke, and they've tried different things with that. It seems to work. And Leia is mentioned in the first season of Ahsoka, but we don't see her. It's just C-3PO. So now we're going to finally get full-on Leia. It'll be interesting to see what she looks like. How's that performance? How does it look digitally, etc.? And it's going to set up the Heir to the Empire thing. Thrawn is this massive threat now. Maybe we'll get an update as far as what he's doing on Dathomir. I'm not really sure. But that concludes everything I'm allowed to talk about with Ahsoka season 2. And that's the thing, guys. There's even more crazy shit that I'm holding on to that I can't talk about. But my God, this has me excited. Now, look, for some of you, this might not be it. You might not like the cameos, the crazy Force, weird wizard stuff, and that's fine. Maybe you like Andor, totally cool. They spent $700 million to get you 2 seasons of a show that I think sucks ass. Congratulations, go watch Andor and get the fuck out of my face. Because for me, this is Star Wars. This is what it's about, man. This is the real shit, and I'm so excited. Legitimately, man, I was excited for Ahsoka season 2. This is my kind of Star Wars, and I love what Dave Filoni did in a lot of his animated stuff. And you know, season 1 rather had some incredible moments. Episode 5, episode 6, some of my favorite live action Star Wars. My God! And then the last 2 episodes kind of sucked ass. But
Prez, Michael Gambon was the second Dumbledore, right?
after hearing all this, man, oh my God, like, I just can't believe the ambition, the fucking balls on Dave Filoni to go for it this hard with weird mystical Force ghosts, weird, you know, mother type stuff, Mortis flashbacks. My God, there's some crazy shit going on here. So that's really cool. And now that I've hyped you up about that, let's talk about the bad news. It's pretty much everything else. And Grogu movie, man, unfortunately, this movie is exactly what we thought it was going to be. It's a side mission, weird movie that seems fucking pointless. And there's no big surprises. There's no cameos. There's no Luke currently in this thing. Apparently, it's literally just a movie with Din Djarin, Grogu, and then Rada. And Rada, I believe, is the son of friggin' Jabba the Hutt. And apparently, he's literally just one of the main characters. It's just those three hanging out, doing kind of side mission, weird stuff. And unfortunately,
Okay, so you've never watched one Potter movie, Brennan? What the fuck? All right. Now, one thing about Rada that he does not mention, Rhoda, whatever the Hutt, you may have, he's talked about it before, I've talked about it before, but evidently Rada the Hutt is going to be all grown up, and he's been, exactly, Delta Dan, he's been a gladiator. So we're about to see a yoked Hutt. That's right. You're about to see a Hutt that is built like a really in shape light heavyweight UFC fighter. Or heavyweight. Like built like Francis Ngannou, but a Hutt, basically, is what we're getting. Because he's a gladiator. Yeah. Yeah.
my source told me it's going terribly. Nobody's excited about it. And it was probably a movie just forced to be made because they couldn't figure out other films. My source thinks it's going to bomb in the box office and potentially do a lot of damage to the Star Wars brand. By the way, my advice to the people at Lucasfilm that are watching this video because it got flagged for revealing a bunch of actual information from your studio, I don't actually know that to be true, by the way. I'm just saying some stuff I heard from someone that said stuff. But I have some advice advice from you, Lucasfilm. Fucking don't do this. Make it way cooler. Put Luke Skywalker in it. Honestly, doesn't even matter. You can make a bullshit-ass, weird-ass, Rot of the Hutt movie with Din and Grogu for an hour and a half, and then have Luke Skywalker fly in and save everybody and do some wicked, crazy-ass shit in the third act, and people will forgive you, and the movie will actually make money. But if you seriously think you're going to be able to make a Mando Grogu side mission thing that soft sets up a bunch of shit but never fully commits to anything awesome in its own right, I think you're in for a rough time. I think that movie's going to really underperform. I mean, I might see it once and then be like, what the f? So that's kind of bad. And honestly, all the stuff we've heard about how bad it is for Lucasfilm are true. This thing is a disaster. Let's talk about Kathleen Kennedy a little bit here. So according to my source here, Jon Favreau is basically going to be done with Lucasfilm after this Mandalorian era wraps up. Probably means the Mandalorian movie, which I've heard John is not even that thrilled about making. He literally directed some of it from home because he was sick of Kathy's shit and potentially had the flu because of Kathy too. Point is, man, it's not all sunshine and rainbows over there. And Jon Favreau is for sure not taking over as president or co-president. He doesn't want any part of that shit. He's going to come do this movie. He's probably going to help Dave set up his seasons and then the Heir to the Empire movie. Jon might even do another season of Mandalorian or maybe some other show. But in 3 to 4 years, when Star Wars wraps up this Mandalorian era, Jon Favreau is out from what I've heard. He's not even going to be involved in Lucasfilm like basically at all. And the culture over there is crumbling. It's as bad as you would think. However, here's something that's kind of interesting, and I do want to kind of end on this note of positivity. I was asking my source about all these Rey movies and the craziness that's going on with Star Wars as a brand overall, and he told me that there is a potential overhaul happening there, and that a lot of the stuff that Kathleen Kennedy has been talking about via the press, because she basically just leaks stuff to the press like from her camp, and that's how we know about her plans to do like 6 Rey movies, and even though she's retiring, she's still going to stay on and produce movies and like look over Dave Filoni's shoulder for like 6 more years. I get the impression that that is Kathy using mouthpieces in the press to try to present one side of a story, but there are other people at Lucasfilm, and I'm hoping that the other people include Dave Filoni, and these other people actually want to take Star Wars in a different direction, and they want to overhaul the entire thing. By the way, it's possible this overhaul idea is actually coming from Kevin Feige, and there's a lot of rumors that Feige could actually come in and be involved in Star Wars. I technically think that's still possible, and I wouldn't hate it. But the thing I know for sure, the thing that's giving me a lot of comfort here, is that it's not as though everybody's just on board with Kathy's way of doing things forever. And there are definitely people at Lucasfilm, and perhaps even people at Disney over top of Lucasfilm, that want major change with how Star Wars currently operates, which I think would be great because currently it sucks ass, frankly. So hopefully that side wins, and hopefully we don't get a ton of Rey movies developed, and hopefully we don't have years and years of Kathleen Kennedy still producing movies even though she's no longer the president. I think Star Wars needs freshness. I'm really looking forward to Ahsoka Season 2. A lot of those rumors to me sound incredible. That's my version of Star Wars. That's what I want Star Wars to be, and so I hope Season 2 of Ahsoka will be very successful. It's probably going to come out basically around the same time as the Mandalorian and Grogu movie, which might actually be a stinker and might upset a lot of fans. And so it will be good to have Ahsoka Season 2 as sort of a palate cleanser and something to get excited about, and that will potentially lead into Dave Filoni's Heir to the Empire movie. And I've been told the Heir to the Empire movie is the film fans are waiting for. Young Luke Skywalker is supposed to be a main player in that. You're going to have Han and Leia. It's going to be very much similar to Heir to the Empire from Timothy Zahn's novels. And what I'm saying to you is, if we can just make it to that, I think Star Wars might be okay. I think Star Wars fans might be okay. I mean, if we get a new show based on Maul, right? And then we get Book of Boba Fett Season 2 and Boba's back to being a badass, right? And then Ahsoka Season 2 is really crazy, trippy, and doing Abeloth. And then we set up Heir to the Empire. Like, dude, maybe we can survive the Mando Grogu movie being kind of lame. Maybe we can survive some of the other shows or movies being lame. Like, we might even be able to survive a Rey movie if Dave Filoni truly cooks within the Mandalorian era. Anyway, this video turned way longer than I expected it to. I just wanted to give you these crazy updates, talk about the good news, the bad news, and the potential hope for the future when it comes to Star Wars. I think this shit is legit, man. We don't know for sure. Take it as a rumor for now, but this is coming from one of my best sources. Some of you probably remember this, but when the finale of Ahsoka Season 1 dropped, I was given a ton of leaks about that finale, and I actually didn't share them publicly, but I wrote them down on a piece of paper before we watched the episode, and all three of those crazy things 100% happened in the finale. This source that just hit me up, same source that gave me that information before the finale. And now he or she is probably dead because Disney has triangulated their information with all of their Disney Mickey Mouse satellites and shit. Sorry. Anyway, let me know what you think in the comments section below. And as I always say, I hope you are having an awesome and a nerdy day. And I'll see you in the next video. Star Wars fans.
Shush. Okay.
In the next video.
Well, so the Ahsoka stuff sounds dope. Mall show sounds dope. Sam Witwer coming in live action to be the son. Okay. Dope. Oh shit. Well, oop, there we go. Oopsie. Fix that though. But yeah, so yeah, that Ahsoka shit sounds really dope. The Liam Neeson part's the only part I have any real doubt about. That's just because Liam Neeson's Liam Neeson, and he does Liam Neeson-y things. But yeah, that shit sounds dope. That really sucks about Mando and Grogu. I mean, we've kind of known what the movie was about for a hot minute now. Like, we've known that, you know, Mando and Grogu are racing against, what is that big hat motherfucker's name? Embo or whatever. To Rhoda, the gladiator, yoked out, shredded hut. Like, this has been known. This isn't really new. But what sucks is the fact that, again, assuming this is correct information, is like up until this point we had at least some hope that there might be that's just part of the movie and there might be a bigger story that shit's just occurring inside, or will lead in a substantial way to a bigger story like towards the end of the movie, but not like all the way at the end. But yeah, if it's just staying what it is, then you should have just left it a fucking TV show. Like, I understand you're desperate to get back in the fucking theater. I mean, you should be. You haven't put shit out in 6 years. But, going on 6 years. But, you need to come strong with your first offering. And because you couldn't get your poop in a group, you're like, hey, we have a season pretty much written. Let's turn it into a movie so we can finally put something in a fucking theater. Without making it bigger. We're just going to go with that. I don't know about you, but to me, that doesn't sound like the best plan. So, that kind of sucks. The Temuera Morrison stuff, Boba Fett, again, they write him correctly. I am so here for Boba Fett Season 2. And when I say write him correctly, he needs to go back to being stone cold, badass, don't take no shit killer. We shouldn't see one Vespa. You know, stuff along those lines. I am totally here for that if they fix him. Yeah, the Darth Maul animated show, fuck yeah. I'm not going to call them cartoons anymore. They're just animated shows. Cartoons are different. Looney Tunes is cartoons. Clone Wars, Rebels, this hopefully upcoming Darth Maul show are animated shows. They're not fucking cartoons. But yeah, that'll be dope. The thing about what's going on inside the studio in terms of the power struggle between Kathy not letting go of what she wants to do with Star Wars, and despite like all the reality saying she should not be doing what the fuck she's doing. And it's but there's an opposing faction that actually evidently can put facts together and realize this ain't working. We need to change course. X-Men 97, Prez. Yeah, so there are people in there that have that stance. Honestly, I'm wondering if that dude that they just hired, that Harloff knows, whose name I can't fucking remember. I'm wondering if he's in the we need to change some shit camp. I have a feeling he is. Of course, if he is, I have no idea how he would have managed to get hired, but I still feel like he might be. Oh, the live action? Okay, yeah. But I mean, it is good to know that like not everyone in those offices over there um, has got their head buried up their own ass, smelling their own farts, thinking they're doing a good job. Some of them actually are checked in to reality, so this is good. Hopefully, that side wins out, especially after Kathy's officially no longer president. But we will see. We will see. And so ends my planned subjects for tonight. You guys got any further thoughts on that, or thoughts on anything else that you want to go over with? I'm not even getting into that conversation, Icarus. It's too late right now. Um, yeah. Final thoughts, Chad, on that or anything else? Because otherwise, it's getting pretty late for a work night. And I kind of got to pee again and stuff. Anything, chat? Anything at all? I can figure out how to deal with the HOA stuff. Ugh. Ugh. What the hell's going on in chat? You guys are all, you guys are hilarious. What's my favorite color? Blue. Blue is 1A and black is 1B. Well, blue is 1, black is 1A. That's how that's supposed to go. Yeah. Yeah. All right. I love y'all, but it's for me like 2 minutes to Thursday. So I'm going to get the fuck out of Dodge. I love y'all. I hope y'all have fun. I had fun. You guys make it fun. You're the best. And I thank you for being part of this community. I appreciate y'all more than words can say. Green? overall, I don't mind green as a color, but it does conjure up, really? See, green was one of my high school colors, my school colors. My school colors are green and white, which is not bad, except for the fact that I'm a U of M fan. So, and green and white is the colors of Michigan State. So I had mixed feelings when I was playing football, wearing green and white on the field. When I much rather would have been wearing maize and blue. But anyway, that's way to the side. All right, you guys are dope. You are the reason my streams are dope. I'm just here to facilitate your dopeness, basically. So, thank y'all for being here. Saturday night, 9 p.m. Eastern, for that regular stream. Hope to see y'all there. But in the meantime, have a good rest of your week. And be safe out there. Be good to each other. Peace. Not doing much of a post credit. Just want to say again, I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. I thank y'all. And remember, wherever you're at and whoever you're with, always keep it nerdy. Later.